they all provide though. But in the meantime, SM will tell you about PC Herbal, and then we'll continue the conversation.
Yo. Pacho yenko PC Herbal na fe yeni enkomo na yento adwumadi no so ewo ha. PC Herbal de uduru hopa na se edin ba akopɛ anase mebo PC Herbal edin ba akopɛ na eba eye wadwen mu eno maame nzema na maame nzema obi a enuro de obi papa PC Herbal no maame nzema wo nuro pa oyo oba bosome so na akwa fikyira pacho wo de no emayi edwetwa sisi sa eboaboa no dache ebedu nya fo ni kyeremu PC Herbal na maame nzema enhwemwa na omo waduro sanso na wosisi etayo ya wachi eyo ana wo ye bema o mpaso agude no se performance no aba form kra PC Herbal Center maame nzema ho ene se wodi wani edeben ekire wakwa akotete eye enyarewa bi infections bi ana se poor vision PC Herbal ene se wodi wani ekire yare bie ha obia no PC Herbal Center ewo ho edema wo mpacho afie atwa mu PC Herbal Center isane modi monti no ade ampanifo ehwe ye a omo ebo na baso was serving to West African Traditional and Alternative Medical Award 2024. PC Herbal and one born about say the most promising prostate disease treatment center of the year. And PC Herbal de do wa omo ultramodern machines one be hwe ni paduanum ahwe yare a edu nya ansa na omo de dro be kama omo de account na kai na ehye no se omo do ni nyina so no natural and herbal. PC Herbal nkran ha o hwe na oni Medina Social Welfare Gate no ena edi enimhwe sanso ena ukopiem takrade so a one Air Force Station Basic School no ena edi enimhwe kan nation is a PC Herbal air delivery services within and outside Ghana ubetimi afre PC Herbal mamizima ewa homatufo yi eso 0540 740 740 0540 740 740 and I say 0542 995 997 0542 995 997 PC Herbal or say one time quick.
So if you just join us, two things we are following. We are talking about this matter that has attracted the attention of the president, John Dramani Mahama. Now, this is about school children and SM. I think we've talked about this kind of issues on many occasions on the Gold Morning Conversation. Now, especially now that we are going to enter into the rainy season, we see a lot of these videos of people struggling to cross some streams to get from one side to the other. And usually, you see children involved trying to move from one place to another to school. So this may be one that we are seeing now, but I'm not sure is the only one. The president's commitment is highlighted in that tweet, where he then talks about removing barriers to education and healthcare. So it's not straightforward for the president, as has been said. So this community has been identified, but clearly this community is not the only one that's attracting the attention of the president from what we are hearing. And I'm sure you've seen the video. Alaska will show that video again. We're showing two videos actually, because we are going back to the matter of the raid that was done in Ofako, that one too. And then we are also then talking about the matter of this community in question, where students have to use a lock to cross a stream to get to the other side to go to school. You should see it for yourself. It's a very, very bad situation that needs to be dealt with as soon as possible, and it's attracted the attention of the president. The president is talking about the bigger conversation of removing barriers to education and also to healthcare. So if you're listening to us, you know, any community that has this thing, this issue where between that community and a school, the closest school, is a stream that needs to be crossed every day by students. You can also share with us. Because like I said, I am so confident it is not only this community. It's just one community. Maybe many. I've seen some in the past. I don't know whether those ones have been dealt with. Like I said, when the raining season starts, we will see more of this. Many other places will become immotorable, impassable. You can't walk through them. It becomes difficult for you to use these kinds of stretches. Then, of course, we are also then talking about the containers that have been found by national security during a raid. 20-foot containers, 12 of them in total, and all of them have fake currencies and also what's suspected to be gold bars. Well, let's go over the phone lines and have a conversation with Richard Commando, who is a security consultant. Good morning to you, and I hope you're well.
Thank you. I'm good and great.
I know because of your connections within the intelligence space, you are always sniffing.
Problem for me this morning.
You are also sniffing for information around, and I'm sure you have some information.
No, I've been to the crime scene actually.
Okay, give us an idea what we are talking about here.
Okay, so there are about 4 things involved. For some time now, Ghana has become a transit point, a destination and origin for organized crime and cross-border crimes. So that is one. Number two, it could be that because government has just transferred power from one to another, they want to pass through this one before government settles. Then number three, it could be that this is a continuous process that security officers have monitored it for a very long time, and they felt this is the time to strike. What they are not telling us, or the media that broke the story, is that whether this team they put together, they call it national security. It's not the national security of old, where you have land guards and everybody creating problems. This one, the agency gave out officers. So various agencies within the national security space gave out officers, and they came together under one big umbrella, and that is why they are calling it national security. What they are not telling us, but the journalists who broke the news, is that when they picked the package from Harbour, they inspected them. And when they got to the warehouse, they did a reconciliation, and they realized that 4 packages were missing. Or when they got to the warehouse, they give them a waybill or some kind of an invoice, and they realized that there were additional 4 packages that were supposed to be here that they were not there. So it is all part of the chase they have to do, and the particular officers who are the concernees for this particular crime. But then again, it's a cross-border crime, and it's high-level, well-sophisticated, organized crime we are dealing with.
Very interesting. It seems you are telling a story and not telling a story at the same time. Are you suggesting that this all started with 4 missing packages?
Yeah, because that's the story coming from the operations, and that's what the media has reported.
And so this went through our border, our ports.
Yeah, because Ghana has become a transit for organized crime and money laundering and drugs and arms and many of those things. And Ghana has also become a destination, and it has become an origin. So this particular one could be coming to a destination, which is Ghana, or is passing through Ghana as a transit point. And to the extent that our ports of entry, being it the harbor or the airport, they can have people well organized, well detailed, pass through the processes, pay people, and have a package system that delivers the goods. They are okay to go. And it could also happen that there's something we call crime in absentia. The rare criminals, the kingpins, might not be in Ghana. And it is the duty of the BNI and the police officers who are involved in this particular operation to get to the field and make sure that these guys are brought to book in relation to our international connections and platforms available to crime prevention.
But what for somebody who's done some intelligence, what are the main issues that arise for you in this? Because you're talking about something coming through our port particularly.
Okay, so the main issues is that Ghana has been ranked as a high-risk destination because we have become origin for criminal activities, not just origin, but transit. So some drugs will come from Europe, pass through here, and go to the South America or the North America, and vice versa. And we do not just become origin or transit, but we have also become a destination. And that is why the use of drugs, and that is why money laundering and terrorist financing activities could be ripe in Ghana as a transit or a destination. For us, in the security intelligence community, because this one has been bastardized, irrespective of whichever manner it takes or it took, and with the lingering questions not being answered as of today, it will help our ratings to come down. that we are doing something about our borders and points of entry, that we are building capacity and we have the ability to bastardize well-organized crimes and money laundering activities and cross-border crime. That is one. Number two, it means that as a nation, as we settle down with the new government, our relationship with our neighboring is good, so that we could have a dialogue and they could share intelligence with us on a timely basis, which includes cross-border crime and organized crime such as the one we are talking about.
You talk about lingering questions in terms of this bust. What are the questions for you that need to be answered by those
Number
involved?
one, whether the officers who did the operation were at the port when the consignments were being taken and they did an inventory. And at what point did they realize that there were 4 packages missing? And have they found the true identities of the people behind? If the media had people within the BNI, the police, and national security for that matter, the media would have picked the story that this consignment came from this particular place. This is the name of the consignee. This is what has happened. These are the stages we are. Unless national security specifically stressed, don't put up these details yet. Other than that, the story would have reported a bit more clearer to the general public to appreciate the work of the officers involved. But the way it is now is more about breaking the story and the sensationalization of it.
You talk about this is part of, because I get a sense that you're saying that this is part of a bigger problem that Ghana currently confronts. You're talking about us being a transit point, a destination, or origin of organized crime. How should they handle this in a way that assures perhaps those who have marked us as a risk when it comes to organized crime that we are trying to deal with the problem?
One, they will need to do a detailed job. Number two, they will need to profile objects of interest and personalities of investigation interest. And number three, as a nation, we should be encouraged and be bold enough to prosecute people who flout our laws and breaches and create security breaches for us, because we are talking about the aftermath of the underlying effects of money laundering. One of them is funding the economy underground. Then number two, it could also lead to terrorist financing. And number three, it could lead to an overthrow of government. And number four, your international ratings in terms of safety, in terms of security, in terms of risk, in terms of intelligence could be affected. And once that is affected, it affects your foreign direct investment, interferes your tourism sector, and it affects the way you do business in the international market. Because those are all parts of the risk outlook people look at before they deal with you as a nation.
And let me conclude by asking you, you said you've been to the scene of the crime, right?
Yes.
What observations have you made? Is this a place that is secluded? How's the place?
No, if you look at the narration, and they are talking about the total number of containers involved, one of the things we are also not talking about is what is contained in each of the containers, and why that particular warehouse, or why that particular location. Is it the first time it's being used for this particular operation, or it has been used for some other things before, and this one is one of those one-off transactions? And who are the owners of the warehouse? Who built it? What was it built for? How much did it cost in building it? What is the business and the nature of business of the person who owned the warehouse? And those are some of the questions we in the security intelligence community will ask. But having been to the place and having spoken to a number of people within, on one hand, we clap for the officers who did the job, and the other hand, we are saying that they've done well, but they should speed it up and speak to the general public so that it goes out to make a complete package. And when the docket is compiled for people who flout the laws and break our point of entry, we should be bold enough to go for punishment.
An interesting thing is that typically when you go to a community, you have interactions with the people. They usually have an idea who owns a particular house or a warehouse. Do the people seem to know?
Definitely, that they will give it to the BNI people in particular. Because remember, the BNI have offices and officers all over the country. And those actual details will be given to them. It could also be that the one who gave the tip-off might be part of the consignment abroad, or it could be that it could be one of the people who received the consignment here, and that person could be an informant of the police or the BNI, whether at a low level or at a higher level asset, for which the BNI or the police maintain. And those details will be given to them, and those will be some of the details they will put up to the team that the National Security Coordinator might have set up for this particular operation.
And let me conclude then by asking you which institution is rightly placed to investigate this? I've heard you mention
the BNI wouldn't take the shine. Even if we do it, we will give it to the police. So this is a financial crime. The police have a financial crime unit. The ones that borders on the port, the port basically is for customs. So customs comes in. Immigration has a role to play. Then the military has a role to play. Then overall, the National Security Coordinator, who coordinates the activities of all the national security agencies at the Security Council, will have a briefing for the president.
But you have an economic and organized crimes office.
Yeah, definitely. So those ones that borders on Yoko will go to Yoko. The ones that borders on money laundering will go to the Financial Intelligence Center. And that is what it's supposed to be. But when it comes to the financial intelligence, when it comes to the movements on the ground, you can be sure that BNI will do their portion and hand it over to them. And we need to coordinate and we need to collaborate. The interagency collaborations and coming together to do a national assignment is something they need to enhance and forge it more, so that everybody comes to the job knowing exactly what to do. It brings speed, it brings quality, and it makes sure that they get the results within timeline.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
Mr. Richard Kumando is a security consultant, security and fraud consultant, having a conversation with us on what transpired. In fact, one of the things he said that I have noted is that we've become a transit point, destination, and origin of organized crime. Transit point, destination, and also origin of organized crime. So we are either the ones who are starting it, we're just a place where they temporarily stop over, or we are the point of, we are the ones who are receiving the goods. So those are three things that Ghana has become penned for. So across the world, when they are doing risk analysis of countries where or destinations where organized crime can easily thrive or easily thrives, Ghana did there. Our name did for there. This went through our ports. It was marked, and I'm sure the intelligence gathering started from there, was allowed to go all the way to the warehouse in question. Like I said, we are a communal people. Everybody knows somebody. So I'm sure by this time, the intelligence officers have an idea who the person who owns that warehouse is. Because, of course, somebody would have worked in that warehouse who is within the community and would have told the people within the community who owns it. Or there will be people who are connected to that warehouse from within that community. So I'm sure they are gathering information on what will happen. But ultimately, what is important is that we are not only told about the bust, but we are told about those behind it and the ultimate arrests that are being made. Who is responsible? Some form of transparency is good. Even how much gold did you find? How much fake currency did you find? The dollars, how much is it? More counting. We have to count every bit of those dollars. We have to count the money involved. Everything is important. So there has to be a lot of transparency when it comes to this kind of situations. What did you find? Who did the warehouse belong to? How did all this start? And hopefully we will be looking for it, because President Mahama promised that his government will be a transparent one. But the problem with investigations is that sometimes there is information that if you give away too quickly, you lose track. So it's important that you hold some information to your chest, because you need it to be able to move the investigation forward. So we'll be watching this exactly to see how much more information is provided by national security and those who are involved in the bust that happened out of our call. We'll have to take a break. We'll be right back.
Hisense is best known for all your electronic appliance needs, such as television, refrigerator, chest freezer, and air conditioners. But did you know we have laser television, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphones, sound systems, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, iron, air fryer, just to mention a few. Hisense is the only electronic company in Ghana that gives you 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Visit any of our showrooms in Accra, also in Tema, Kumasi, Takrade, Takwa, Mankesim, Obuase, Sunyani, Techiman, Tamale, Hohoi, Kofodia to purchase any Hisense product at the best price. Hisense means best quality, best durability, best for energy efficiency, best for affordability, best for style, and best for technology. You can always get in touch on 0302 55 0000 or go to www.hisense.com.gh. We are also available on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Hisense Ghana. Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Sweetness.
Yeah, bouncing me visa.
Nabani say.
Almost say mini traveling experience.
Oh, relax. It's the year. Menyo Ruboko Bahamas. Bahamas.
Hey. Na medenya visa.
Erko Bahamas. Wanji visa. Yerkaji enenywa.
Wow.
Yababa nenya travel experience. Bahamas. Sisiara. Mr. Tours and Cheap Tickets Limited will organize lovely tourist trip. Aqua Bahamas.
I will, Meko.
Lovely trip to Bahamas, yeah. You know your Accra to Nassau. Wachata flight Numu. Offer 17th April. Kesi 23rd April. Packaging now $5,500. What ticket to a hotel? Your new beach Bahamas. Your cruise one sooner do messy. And you by your mom. Love in Bahamas. To register and sign a 28th March. Call for reservation 0544 733 528 Anna 030 500-72. Love in Bahamas. I say, my uncle blow.
You've been told the station is cold, never gets cold. So just be bold. Advertise. 'Cause here you sell out.
Okay. I know what they're saying. They say the love Radio Gold so bad, and Radio Gold DJs are so wicked, and Radio Gold presenters are smooth, and the defense is so clear. And I can't talk so fast. Come on, we're on air. Come on.
Drop this.
Are on air. Radio Gold 90.5 FM. Online. www.radiogoldlive.com. And on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Radio Gold 905 FM. Follow, like, and share.
Online, on your mobile, and on your smart speaker. This is the Power Station.
Ghana's Gold. Radio Gold.
Ewa busuan egoje nkrato kakra yasan aba a good morning conversation komo twetwe ntani abemfo twetwe komo a emre se fatamu no na yaje kasamu no e dia ma kan nation no se na no pay dwumadi no enam ya mre bibre na akọ ho a onsa ebetimi akan live ewo tuning sanso ena okọ multi tv radio channel ho a onsa ebetimi akan ho Big Green Radio Online ewo Italy be Chenza Sanso and another pay Sequele 104.3 FM. Eolipe Utimontin so say the voice from afar. Another pay their good morning conversation no Tregu Elho. Jima Information Center El Casapena have region. Sanso and Udweni Chemu and so Ewo Eye and Senfu from okay. Okay, Antino. We are live on Facebook. Radio Go 905 FM. And our face, YouTube so Radio Go 905 FM. Udo subscribe my Facebook so no like a page of our comment to us and afi share.
We also live on OT 101.5 in Dambai.
OT 10 and only ye keka na say ombe ya.
We are live on it today.
Okay.
OT 101.5
FM.
In Dambai.
Dambai. Yo. Into OT for ya chiache mu nyina. Yento ade na afi yento anko bo ne so. The same practical school. Best was remedial center. Ghana ha. Upe baby akwa kwotro wasi ni bina watro ateneta. Menko se sika eno adaje baby awofo no mesrema mi tumofo. The same practical school and se wodi wani kire. Omo ekita experienced graduate and office no dedicated teachers womo ekyere nkwada na de sanso ena da se nkuto ena womo ene nkwada na efantitiye mu ansa no bekwa kwotro nsohwe no makwa kwotro womo vacation classes ho de ma SHS student enyina womo so ne nkwada na ewie syllabus no ansa na womo bekwotro final exams na womo akwa kwotro uyobi a opese okotro sa TOEFL GRE GMAT ni bia for any tremu the same practical school sanso ena adult education ekoso the same practical school o hwe omo a na say omo multiple branches Ghana brina Pokwase Ashama Tema Pram Kaswa ena office na wushina no the same practical school omo branches de ben ho nde bia men kase immediate kaswa na mekwa wushi de bi kaswa for ebi ebem hwena no hwa Fred, the same practical school and no pay our home two for eso 0244 585906 0244 sorry 0244 585902 0244 585902 pacho o friend number we na aye biza obetimi afresh number we so aka ho 0244 982428 0244 982428 Dasin or see the Wisdom Kingdom 0244 982428 na enomo entimi entwetwe enkomo na otwe wieye ene mema dodo na ene ka se mema mun sori o omutimi edeben omutimi sori ye ai emebi atwamu de ka se mema mun sori omutimi sori sense ono anu hu se ne tibia na omu so yo ba o so bemma onim ni nyina ne se ne performance no ewo form kura ni senti no o type pie ekwaduma ntem obeba soso a obeba no bia da na ekode na akodware na odidi na nso akoda esan se ebi ebe ha ne se oh bra kofi na ne de nka o mana ye ni agro kakra ai ni senti o empaso agro no performance no go form kura Mr. Q adro ne betimi aboa Mr. Q adro no aboa mranti bebre na ifi ha no yaka se mranti ni ndi adanse ha well, we say yes. I want for pa. Mr. Kiwu Pebiato, Ghana for never be out when each on Sabbath me, I can be a ho, when you beato, say pharmacy chemical, and I say bash will be a ben, Rubu Raha. Also, pay Mr. Kiwu, do you say a shadaka box move a fair for Imawa, when says strobe womb, fair beer in an on a church drona, we say, what shall I say, yeah. When Mr. Kiwu, yes, a big cry, match and or now, quack there be match you who, match in who ACC the Pedriano. I'm afraid Kunlunga limited for normally Mr. Kiwu Drona ba, our home true face so a 0244 139 176 0244 139 176 and I say 0204 139 176 0204 139 176 Mr. Q or see be a real man.
You see that how the description is vivid. The description is vivid. Is that not how they say it?
Clear.
Yeah, it's vivid. It means that there's some experience on that side. You tried it.
Oh, send me your kunu ajuma ko ade ne.
So that's a direct question you are coming to pass somewhere to justify before you. Yes, you've tried it. Yes.
Everything me wono.
So you must be careful what you say, else you'll be in trouble.
Me nada.
Well, we'll also be joined in studio at some point by Dr. Said Fita from Tolon, a lecturer and of course a politician himself. But let's go over the phone line and speak to Honorable Owen Kwame Frimpong, who is Member of Parliament for Lower West Akim Constituency. Thank you very much for your time and good morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
I hope you're well.
I'm doing well.
Great. Your constituency has come to some public attention, especially a community where we saw school children going over a log to move from their community to another community to go to school. Which community in question is this?
Thank you very much, Mr. Talon. And Good morning to your listeners and good morning to the good people of Lower West Achim. This community in question is in the Lower West Achim. We share boundary with the Upper West Achim.
And we understand the name of the community is Asuoko. Oh, okay. We'll try and get him back and continue the conversation we're just having. You said what?
Asuoko.
Asuoko. Asuoko. What does that mean?
Huh?
What does that mean?
It's a name of a means Asuoko.
But every name has an origin.
Okay, we say baby Annie, the omede two no mujina so the two.
Yeah.
You know.
So everybody has every name has an origin.
Yeah.
It has a meaning. Sometimes it's steeped in the language. It's true.
Yeah, but also you'll be crediting.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Because even the names of people's names has a meaning.
Yeah. Baby is bisa honorable no bit me actually.
Thank you very much for joining us. Sorry we lost you there. What's the name of this community?
It's in the Lower West Achim. It's Amankesi.
Okay. And I'm asking the name of the community specifically.
It's a Sioko.
Okay. Has this been how they have been living all this while?
Yes, please.
What's the problem? Why do they have to put a log across and where are they moving to?
That is where they move to their town or Sioko to the neighbor town. So this bridge has been there for years, which it's been a disturbance for the good people of that community. So, in Lower West Achim, the past administration, the MPP has been in power here for 24, 25 years for now. So, this thing has been there for long. We saw a video on social media and the president saw it and he intervened. So yesterday, I was in church when I had a call. So I have to reach to the people and look for where this venue is. And we got it. We sent it to the president and the minister. So I think we'll give a rapid resolve to that issue.
Did you go to this place to campaign?
Yes, of course.
Is that the only access route to the place?
No, we have an alternative road, but it's on the highway. And they usually use that highway, and most of the students are being knocked down by the vehicles. So people choose to use that narrow road to get to the next town, which is more convenient for them than they will come to the main road and they will be knocked by the vehicles.
Oh, okay. So to avoid the highway, the high risk of the highway, they've decided to use this one.
Yes.
Wow.
So the best we have to do is to fix that bridge for them. And it's not the only bridge over there that we have to fix. I've already fixed 2 of them whilst we were campaigning. So now that we are empowered to reset Ghana and my good community, Lower West Achim, I think things will be in place. We will fix for the good people of that community.
And you said we have to fix the bridge for them. Does that mean there was a bridge across, or there was never a bridge across?
There was never a bridge.
There was never a bridge across the stream.
They just use their own sense of, doing that bridge so that they can have access to the next town.
And they don't have a school in this community?
They have the schools in that community.
So
they have a school which the people from Lower West Achim, and they go to the other school. Most of them also go to the other school in the Upper West Achim. So it's a boundary between Lower West Achim and Upper West Achim.
Oh, okay. So there's a school that the children can go to, but they also go to other schools in the other community.
Yes, please.
Okay, because when you look at what they are wearing, it looks like a private school kind of.
Yeah, they have most of private schools there, and most of the private schools also have their school buses conveying the students to and fro. But you have to pay for that. So people who cannot afford to pay for that have to use this narrow road to get to their various schools.
You say you have already fixed like 2 bridges.
Yes, we have the one and the same stream from. We have a community called Estate, Jamestown and Estate. I fixed that one, and I fixed 1 or 2 at Num. So during my campaign, I did well, and the good people of this constituency saw that I can be of help for 24 good years. This thing has been there, and I pop up. I'm helping. So they voted me in power.
You said that, so you have had, I'm sure you have had it, because we've seen the president's post both on Facebook and X. So which means the president have had a conversation with you on this. What is the immediate solution you are looking at?
The immediate solution is the regional minister, as I'm talking to you, is on the way to come and witness it. As a regional minister, this in your region, we have to fix it because it's kind of death trap and it's not encouraging. So we are on course. We will fix it in no time.
Oh, but you are a first-term MP, right? This is your first term?
Yeah, it's my first term. We are the mighty backbenchers.
And you said this community and the whole constituency has been in the MPP for so long?
For 24 years.
Oh, okay. You've managed to take it away from them in this election?
Yes, please. With a very huge margin. A little over 23 and a little over 21. So 2,000 difference. We did well. We need change, and we need to reset Ghana and my good community as well. Yeah.
Honorable Pacho, me bamu kakra minister na wa ha. Your friend Steven. Honorable Juma be sa na wo ye ho a ohwe constituency a MPP atime kitache na afie twam abato otime gi from nsem sa.
You see, the issue is Ghanaians are discerning now, and the issue here is we've been the opposition, or let me say the MPP party, have been in power for 24 years, and there's nothing that we can boast of. So they saw Owen Kwame Frimpong, the darling boy, as an indigent, and he has the community at heart. So and I did a very good campaign. And then when I was campaigning, my opponents were doing fanfare. So obviously I have to win, and I won.
Honorable na bridge no neka o campaign promise no ho na say Ghana man pani di tu bia na say wani aba ho.
Bridge no and I can minister na can I told Senna say when you overhead the stretch of Jamestown to Estate na an open pro na nego so na omode open 40 mi share chire faso. It's alarming. And the only thing I need which me and say in my capacity, I fixed 2 of them. Now, baby, and the president I intervene a boundary between the upper west and the lower west.
And you know a betche president Nanua Tumudia, me sure so be dear chiri.
Me no kase minister nam kwanswa oba. Na akola no kura de adwuma no ye no ohwe abu say akola no military wonimu say military for kura ti me be fa no because training oye ade oye military for pe innovative ya say ade we nti enkwa ye be fa ko military base and say Accra school mu hono ma. I think say you have good profit on this guy.
Yeah, because honorable unni akukudra untimi fo bi nhyewachi na onfa ne ntwanso we enye se otwanso no so keke ohwedua strategy branch ne fa so na mudua no so ade ni nua na o hye na chini twae a me no ya adwen pa.
Yes, nti military for no mbehwa the esomti mbefa akola ne ko military school na omu training one time because if you do Russia near here omu 5 years kura kona omu na omu ye military for nti military intervene no mefano kwa. I think say he's going to come out to help the community and the country in the whole.
Honorable ye be di akiri o kasi minister na mkwa so oba behwe de nti be di akiri na hwe me reporting a ombetimi aye de awie na akame se what constituency hwache na asu okọ no e ba cho obetimi akire ase kakra nsa na wako
eye nsuo kokọ
Okay.
enso de nsuo na da ho na nkasa no ni din no yewo almost 32 river bodies ewo me constituency ya. You have a whole lot nti nsuo kese a ye friend nsuo kokọ nti enye nsuo ketwasa nsuo ni din eno no.
Oh okay. That's pa. And honorable radio good any tea for yeda wasesa na pay ton safre wa OGS wa church nsemu di akire mnipa mu ne be san ba na afia ba be enchechem foforo se akonya ne ba
mo be free bi mo na ai
ya wie
the working president now am I fixing it
eno ano
we are resetting Ghana
ano.
Okay. Honorable, thank you. Thank you very much for speaking to us. We'll be following.
We'll be following. Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable Owen Kwame Frimpong, member of Parliament for Lower West Achim, and you know there's so I think it's pronunciation. Pronunciation. So like when people pronounce it over time, yes, it's corrupted. That's how come.
So koko.
Okay. Yeah. So that's now you can understand how the name became that. Well, in the meantime, let me remind you that you need to get ready for an unforgettable adventure. The Love in Bahamas tour is happening this Easter from April 17th to 23rd, 2025. It's going to be amazing. So tell a friend to tell a family to tell everyone. No visa hassle for Ghanaians. Yes, easy e-visa for other African travelers. This is an all-inclusive package. Direct charter flight from Accra to Nassau, the capital of Bahamas, luxurious accommodations, a thrilling cruise through the Caribbean islands, and exclusive tours. All these in the Bahamas for just $5,000. No visa, no transit, no stress, just pure travel bliss. This is your chance to create incredible memories and enhance your travel experiences. Don't miss out on an exciting trip of the year. Love in Bahamas this Easter. Contact Mr. Tours and Cheap Tickets for more information. 0544 733 528 or 0271 901 212 or 0240 705 755 are the numbers to call Mr. Tours and Cheap Tickets Limited on. I've got a few comments from those of you who are listening to us. There's is it DJ O'Malley? Okay. There's okay. There's Seydou Shabu who was also drawing attention to the fact that he was in Sokok, Red Water, but they pronounce him Sokok. It is an old town. When you are mention the name of the town again.
Esoko.
Okay, fantastic the way he said it. There's an old town when you're going to Asamankese from Adeso. The road problem is a long problem. So Seydou knows the place quite well. Lengi Chawanate, both routes are very dangerous to human from the way it was described, especially for children who have to go to school. There's Lengi Chawanate who says this MP must immediately, okay, no, he is a new MP, so you are jumping into this man was just elected. It's not even up to 1 month you're coming to say that he's failed. John Lengi, and that's why I asked him whether he's a first MP, and I guess he heard that. Well, let's go by the phone lines. Let's have a quick conversation with Daniel Fenius, an educationist, on this. Good morning to you, and I hope you're well.
Yeah, good morning. I'm great. I hope you're good too.
Yes, I'm sure you've watched this video, and what are your thoughts on what you've seen and the immediate moves by the president to see how they can easily address this problem immediately?
All right, my brother, thank you very much, and let me say a very good morning to our church listeners. Indeed, we all saw this very pathetic video. I think it started yesterday or 3 days ago. On social media, and of course for us in the education sector we were not surprised because there are several other places where our children struggle to get into school, and so for us this was one of our usual videos and usual daily activities of our students.
You're saying there are many of this?
Yes, come again.
You're saying there are many of this?
There are several. Get to Volta region and you find that there are people who have to cross lakes, who have to cross rivers, sometimes in canoes without any life jackets. I think a year or two ago, we all hear when some school children somewhere in the Volta region were sunk in the river because they didn't have life jackets and all that. About 8 of them or so. So some of these things are not new to us. Our biggest shock rather came when the president of the land posted it on his social media handles and added that he had spoken to or instructed the chief of staff and the regional minister to quickly step in and see how they can put in place measures, including constructing a bridge to help the children. That was our biggest shock because in the last 10 years, we have not seen anything close to that. In fact, in the last 10 years or 8 years, in cases where we have even written letters to the presidency, President Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia never responded, never minded anybody. In fact, if you were not lucky, they will even transfer you the teacher who is videotaping this. I'm telling you that this video we saw on social media, if it was under Akufo-Addo, we would have been looking for the guy who took the video and punish him. So when President Mahama posted it, we were all shocked that, hey, this usual thing we see almost daily on social media, the president has taken it seriously. That was when it dawned on some of us that now we have a listening president. Now we have a president who listens to the people, who deserves the 2 million gap he was given. I mean, you know what happened? On December 7th, you know, some of us were monitoring several polling stations, right? As early as 4:30 a.m., there were some people who were in queues waiting for the polls to open so that they would go and vote. As early as 5 a.m., as early as 5:30 a.m., it was yesterday that it dawned on me that the president was waking up at dawn to vote for him. That today, 2 students or pupils, not even 10, not 20, not 30, not 40, only 2 children struggling to cross a lake to school have captured the attention of the whole presidency. We were shocked. We have not seen this in the past 8 years. What we have seen in the past 8 years is victimization, transfer of teachers, abuse of teachers, punishing people, national security, harassing and arresting people unnecessarily. But today, when videos are just flying on social media, the president can download it and post it on his own platform. That was our biggest shock. And I will encourage the president to continue some of these things. See, Ghanaians are not asking him to buy Benz and Land Cruisers for them. No. Ghanaians are not asking him to construct road of gold for them. No. It is these little things. Right? It is crossing a lake to school. It is getting a school building to study. It is sitting on tables and chairs to study. It is clinics, hospitals. It is the normal road network. These are the things Ghanaians are.
We've lost Daniel Fenny on the line. I think the point he was making is that this seems like a change of view, a change of reaction. I was telling you about the fact that, you remember, in the early days of the Free Senior High School, headmasters were granting interviews. They didn't know that they were hanging themselves. By the time they knew they were being transferred, people were being deposed, among others. He says it's like refreshing to see a president actually see this and not take an issue with the fact that it's been made public but also go ahead to act on it. Let's conclude with him. In fact, you're talking about what we expect from the president going forward. I was coming to that question. The issue of you saying that this is not isolated to this particular community, that there are many communities like that. How should this fit into the president's bigger agenda?
Yes, so if we would remember, getting into the election, two major issues were big on the discussion table. Number one was the economy. Number two was the education sector. Talk of senior high school, the free SHS, how it can be improved, the double track system, how it can be abolished, basic schools. We got to realize that there were about 5,000 and over schools under trees. There are about 1.5 million children out of school, right? These are very significant issues. So I expect that the president, having taken very cognizant note of what happened yesterday, I expect that he will even broaden the picture bigger to even ask that if people get across some of these issues, they should capture it and put it on the social media, and he will take action on these things. That is number one. Number two, it is already good that he has set up a planning committee, putting together the National Stakeholder Education Forum, so that even the experts and the stakeholders will now come together to map out some roadmaps to improve our education system. So already it appears he is in the process of soliciting the views, the expert opinions, the practical ideas of stakeholders in the education sector. That is a good move. I expect that the outcomes of these engagements will feed into the broader project and agenda that he has for the education sector. I will encourage him. And in fact, what he has done is already a motivation, that you see a casual video on social media and you're already taking action. It tells us that when the experts talk, you will listen to them. If you are already listening to casual videos flying on social media, it means that when the proper stakeholders sit and talk, he will listen to them. These are very positive moves. I will tell him, if he's listening, I will tell him that he already has the massive support of Ghanaians. He has the goodwill of the people. Ghanaians gave him 2 million votes down for a reason. And we expect that he will man up and shoulder some of these very destructive interventions that the NPP brought. He will remove all of them. Now I expect that there are about 5,000 schools under trees. I expect that already we are taking data on these 5,000 schools, and steps should be taken to remove all the schools under trees. I expect that the double track system in the senior high schools will be abolished. Could you believe that the Form 1s who went to school, senior high school, went to school just about 3 weeks ago? They came home last week. They went to school for just about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They came home last week. Today, the Form 2s are also going. And those who came home last week, the Form 1s who came home last week, they are going to spend about 3 months in the house when they have just spent just about 3 weeks in school. This is the intentional destruction and nonsense that the NPP introduced into our education system. I expect the president, together with his experts and stakeholders, to sit around the table and remove all the nonsense in the system, breathe a new life into the Ghana Education Service, and let Ghanaians enjoy quality education that the Constitution has already given them, that framework. Education is a right of our children. It's not a privilege, all right? And so I expect the president to give life to that constitutional provision by giving our children very quality education. He already has the support. He already has the goodwill of the people. And so we are supporting him. We are praying. No sensible person will wish the president will fail. I've already seen people all over social media saying the president has failed. Somebody who is just 1 month in power. Some people are already saying he has failed. Some people are criticizing him. Somebody who hasn't even formed his government completely, people are already criticizing him. Those people, let's ignore them. Let's focus on the good, the positive. Let's focus on building Ghana. Let's focus on improving the lot of the people. Let's focus on bringing back the quality education that Ghana has lost for the past 8 good years. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for speaking to us.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. And of course, that forum will discuss a bit more detail, and I'm sure some of these things will come to the fore, and some more detail provided about how widespread are things like this. Which region has the most of it? How do we tackle it? Because these are bigger transportation problems that don't even go into only the matter of education. It's about the movement of people from one place to another. That's transport, that's roads and highways. So transport ministry will decide roads and highways to come in. So there are a lot of things to be talked about, how that affects healthcare. The interesting thing about our country is that sometimes when we are going to solve a problem, so SM, we are going to solve a problem of a student. They say, oh, let the education minister go there. Meanwhile, the thing has nothing to do with education. Education